this week on Cruisin' New England. Tiny cars, cool Chevys, lake races, and some Coke to wash it all down. This week it's some of my cruisin' favorites. I'm Paul Manette, and I want to welcome you to another episode of Cruisin' New England. Today, it's my cruisin' favorites, and I'm going to take you back to see some of my favorite segments, including a micro car collection. We're going to see a land speed record holder, we're going to see some memorabilia, and a whole lot more. All this and more on Cruisin' New England. All my life, I've been cruising New England, meeting great people, visiting amazing places, and discovering wonderful classic and custom car collections, nostalgic automobilia, and so much more. Come on and join our adventure. I'm Paul Manette. Let's go cruising. Find out what's happening. Get up-to-date information as I travel throughout New England and beyond. To get exclusive information and behind-the-scenes photos, join me on Facebook.
In the market for new tires? There's only one place to go. Town Fair Tire. We beat anyone, any day. Online prices? We beat them. Wholesale clubs? Other tire dealers? We beat them. No matter what the brand or the size, Town Fair Tire will beat any price, any day. And you always get all these services free. That's why nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Don't miss the Amherst Outdoor Antique Auto Show and Flea Market, Amherst, New Hampshire. The last Sunday of the month, April through October. Over 500 spots. Gates open at 6 a.m. with free admission.
Hi, I'm Jim Grundy, the old original from Grundy Worldwide Collector Car Insurance. We've been providing antique car insurance for 65 years, and now this year we have the latest and greatest state-of-the-art technology. Our new system allows you to go online on our website and get a quote in 2 minutes. If you like what you see, you can apply, plug in your credit card, and get your policy delivered to your email the same day. So for all your collector car insurance needs, try Grundy Worldwide.
Your special moments are something to remember. For weddings, portraits, and special events, contact Sparks Fly Photography.
Would you like to see more Cruisin' New England television? Now you can watch Cruisin' New England every day on our website television show. See past episodes featuring premier automobile collections, memorabilia, automobilia, and car shows. You'll see our visit with Charles Gould and his Matchbox Motors Microcar Museum, the Chevy Guy, John Broden's car collection and automobilia, and a whole lot more. Join us on our website television show at cruisingnewengland.com. Most of my viewers know that my idea of a microcar are these. But on this segment, we're going to visit Charles Gould and his microcar collection. Okay, we're here today with Charles Gould, Mr. Microcar himself. And this man's got literally over 100 of these vehicles. How did you ever get started doing this?
Well, we collected more conventional cars like Jags and Corvettes, and I frankly got a little disenchanted with how stuffy the hobby got. And we got our first microcar and just realized that it was just smiles and fun.
Before we start looking at some of the specific automobiles that you have, let's talk about the overall collection that you have here in this building.
Okay, this is Microcar Central. This is our warehouse where all the projects are and some of the cars are finished.
So why don't you give me an overview of what you have here in the building?
All right, there's a number of cars here. There's in this corner, there's a bunch of Messerschmitts because they happen to be my favorite. A couple of microcars from Japan, Mazdas, Subarus. There's a Bond mini car from Europe. This one in front here is a Velarex. Then we have Isettas over here, which are the iconoclastic microcar that everyone thinks of when you talk about microcars. There's a postal van from Germany back there, the yellow Gaugamobile. A couple of Nash Metropolitans, some Citroën 2CVs, a Daihatsu Trimobile, Victoria, Spatz. There's a 4CV Renault, there's an NSU Prince, and some more Gaugamobiles, some Fiats, and another Buckle Dart over here, and a Bond mini car. There's a whole bunch of stuff.
Well, first, let's talk about one of your favorite cars, which is this one right here. Why don't you tell us what it is and tell us why it's so special?
Okay, this is a Velerex made by the Jawa Motorcycle Company in the Czech Republic. And these were made from motorcycle parts. If you look closely, the headlights are from motorcycles, the fenders are from motorcycles, as are the wheels. These cars are very much like aircraft design. It is a tubular frame with naugahyde stretched over it. So it is a fabric car. And you can see that there's a steel frame which they stretch naugahyde. And all of the panels, including the firewall, the doors, the floors, are all naugahyde, which is very unusual.
Okay, Charles, what makes this so special?
Well, this is a BMW, the ultimate driving machine, although they wouldn't admit it. This is an Isetta 300, and this is the iconoclastic microcar. When anybody talks about bubble cars or microcars, this is the one that comes to mind. BMW made this in the early 50s under license from a design from ISO, and ISO designed the Isetta, which means little egg. And what's interesting is the door is the entire front of the car, and the steering wheel opens with it, and you climb in from the front like a carnival ride.
Can I try to get in this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's give it a try here. And if I can get in it, anybody can get in it, let me tell you. Pretty good. Plenty of room to have someone next to me, too. Absolutely great.
These have a one-cylinder, four-stroke, 300cc engine, and they were made in both 3- and 4-wheel configurations.
So now you have another one that you want to show us that you think is pretty important to your collection, which is...
It's an AC Invacar. Let's go over.
All right.
So this is an AC Invacar from the United Kingdom, and these were actually a vehicle for people that were disabled, and it is designed with all hand controls, no pedals, and it has a sliding door mechanism so that once you slid it open, the seat would slide out here. You could get on it from a wheelchair, slide back in, pull your wheelchair in behind you, and drive away. The handlebars have a throttle on the twist grip like a motorcycle, and you push down on the handlebars for the brake. So it's pretty scary to drive.
Let's talk about why they decided to make a vehicle like this.
Well, after the war, Germany in particular, but all of Europe had been decimated by Allied bombing. And in addition to the rubbles that they were in, the aircraft manufacturing companies were prohibited from building aircraft under the Reparations Act. So all of these factories were idle. People had very little disposable income, and people needed a cheap means of transportation. A number of people designed what they called at the time invalid cars. And one gentleman by the name of Fritz Fend had designed an invalid car that was originally hand-pedaled, and he put a small 50cc engine in it, and it was really quite a little vehicle. And what he realized was that able-bodied people and shopkeepers started purchasing his cars because they needed such transportation. So he approached Willie Messerschmitt and he said, "Your factory is idle, you've got engineers and laborers, and I have more demand than I can handle, let's do this together." And they designed the Messerschmitt in the aircraft factory, and they produced it out of that factory.
So Fritz was basically the pioneer of these vehicles.
Well, you know, he certainly wasn't the first, but he was certainly very influential. There were microcars as far back as the teens.
Charles, why is this a rear vehicle?
This is a 1964 Honda S600. It is Honda's first foray into automobile production. It was built in 1964, and it is a double overhead cam, 4-cylinder, 4-carburetor, 600cc engine with a red line of 9,700 RPM, which is unusual when American cars were only around 6,000. And it can easily rev to 10 or 10.5, and it sounds like an F1 racer. It has dual enclosed chain drives to the rear wheels to give it independent suspension, and they were just remarkable.
So Charles, this was a barn find. You got this when?
I got this about 6 or 7 years ago.
Okay, when this was bought new, how much did this go for?
I think these were around $2,400 is my best estimate.
A lot more Cruisin' favorites when we come back.
Order a bunch of parts to get ready for the car show this weekend?
And I got a hot deal, too.
You think? Think again.
Oh, man.
Tired of back orders? You need NPD. With 4 strategically located superstores, orders are shipped direct to your door within 1 to 3 business days. National Parts Depot has quality restoration parts for Ford Truck, Mustang, Camaro, Chevelle, and Firebird. For your free catalog, visit NPD online or call toll-free.
When September comes, the party begins. Cruise on over to the Big E in West Springfield, Mass, September the 13th through the 29th.
Experience McMulkin Chevrolet, one of the largest volume new and pre-owned Corvette dealers in the country.
I came here because I heard McMulkin has the largest selection of Corvettes in the Northeast. I bought a GR1 because I wanted the fastest production car out there.
McMulkin has one of the most extensive inventories of coupes and convertibles, available and ready for delivery.
The Taj Mahal of Chevy dealerships. If you haven't been around, you got to come and check this place out.
Make it the true American sports car, Corvette. McMulkin Chevrolet is your Corvette dealer.
Cruisin New England magazine. Plan your cruise and car show season. Subscribe today at cruisinNewEngland.com or call 508-428-8055.
Cash for Gold, the place to sell your unwanted gold and diamonds. Where you sell your jewelry is as important as where you buy it. We at Cash for Gold are diamond and gold specialists. We will buy all size diamonds, gold chains, rings, bracelets, silver coins, and even broken jewelry. Often we pay 2 to 3 times higher than pawn shop prices. We also pay up to 90% of the daily price of both diamonds and gold. We are the original, authentic, family-run Cash for Gold and have been for more than 28 years. Visit us at 527 South Broadway, Route 28 in Salem, New Hampshire. Would you like more information about the Cruisin New England Car Show series? Go to our website at cruisinNewEngland.com. In this segment, we visited John Broden, a.k.a. the Chevy Guy. We had a look at some of his memorabilia and his world-class drag car, Pulsation. I'm with John Broden. He's the owner of Chevy Supply of Assonet, Massachusetts. And we're in his showroom here. I want to start off by talking about your automobilia, especially your signs. So let's talk about some of the signs that you have here in your collection. Now, let's talk about the gas oil sign, the Sunoco one here. Where did you get that one?
I bought that at a swap meet, a local swap meet, probably 20 years ago. And there was a pile of them there for sale, and they were only going for about $40 or $50 each. This is another sign I bought at a New Hampshire swap meet, and it's one of my favorite signs. It goes good with the business here, and I've never seen another one. It's beautiful condition, made by Walker & Company, which made most of them, and it's one of my favorite signs, and it goes perfect with the roll top.
Now, over here, John, you have a Coca-Cola, they call them picnic coolers. And this one here is in pretty good shape. There's not a lot of dents to it. The key to these here when you're buying them, because they're at flea markets all over the place, what you want to look for is that it has the tray. And you have a beautiful tray in there, and it also has the grill in the bottom. But I'm going to tell people out there that are looking to buy these to put them in their cars, buyer beware for one little thing. If you want the number one thing when you're buying one of these coolers, whether it's Pepsi, Coke, or anything, pick it up, shake it, and if you can hear rust in there, put the thing down and don't buy it because it's rotten from the inside out. This happens to be a real nice piece. 5 or 6 years ago, these things were going for $350. Now you can probably pick them up for $100 to $150. You have a number of rooms here, 3 that I can count anyways. But up here I see a Flying A service sign. Those are very, very hard to find.
That sign there, also bought it at a swap meet. I've probably had that sign for 20 years. Over here, Paul, we have a beautiful GMC sign that I bought in '07. Actually, I traded it for a Chevrolet sign. I had about 3 Chevrolet signs and I wanted a GMC sign now.
For economical transportation.
A Chevrolet sales and service. Porcelain, both sides, kind of in rough shape, but still a pretty sign. They were fun for kids to throw stones at and shoot it with BB guns. See the porcelain chip off of them.
Okay, what do we have here?
We have a gasoline sign. It was out in the station, Standard Oil Company of New York. It's porcelain on top, cast iron base, very heavy sign, and built to last.
John, great sign collection, but you have one more car I've been waiting to see. Pulsation, your race car.
This is an awesome car. 63 Impala 409, 7,000 original miles on this car. All the race history of this car. This car was sold at Butler Chevrolet in East Providence in '63. The original owner is still around, and this is a 3-owner car. I bought this off a friend of mine in 1998, and this car just has incredible history. It's an AACA certified competition car, and everything is original on this. This thing still has the original tailpipes, mufflers, and exhaust system, the front exhaust pipes with it. And every bit of documentation when this was sold new have all his time slips from this car. And this car ran almost as good as a Z11 back then. He had time slips of 11.9 with this car. And this car is a time machine. Ran from 63 to 68 and has been in storage ever since 68. Here's the motor. It's matching numbers, the original block in this car, original carburetors, original valve covers with the breathers on them, the original air cleaner, and even the Narragansett can here is the overflow can. Basically, all unrestored under here. Original radiator.
You light up like a light bulb when you talk about this vehicle. Why?
Right, it's just incredible to have a drag car that's so well preserved as this. There's lots of drag cars around that have been restored, but to have one this original with a mint original interior, this car really ran well for 4.25 horse. Bill Jenkins built one of the motors in this once, and it actually went better when they built their own motor, the guys that had this car.
More Cruisin' favorites when we come back. Welcome to the Town Fair Tire Recognition Award Series. Each week we're going to be giving away an award to recognize a classic car owner throughout New England. I'm here with Jim Giuliano. He's the Vice President of Marketing and Advertising for Town Fair Tire.
Paul, Town Fair Tire is a proud sponsor of the Recognition Award Series. At the end of the series, we're going to have a Town Fair Tire Choice Award winner for the $500 gift certificate.
It's going to be very exciting. So Jim, who's this year's overall choice winner from Town Fair Tire?
Paul, this year we picked Tom Beauregard with his awesome looking Camaro.
It's a 1967 Chevy Camaro. It's got a 350 cubic inch and it's modified.
Congratulations on behalf of Town Fair Tire. I'd like to present you with a gift certificate for a great looking car.
Thank you.
Get to Town Fair Tire. You always get free mounting, free flat repair, free tire rotation, free snow tire changeover. Drive with confidence. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
Everyone knows I love beverage memorabilia. In this segment, we visit John Frucci, and he had a garage full of it. We also went into his house to look at some of his sports memorabilia. We're back here with Frank Frucci, and what a great garage you have. You have a little bit of everything, from license plates to toys to one of my favorites, which is beverage. I love beverage collectibles. Why don't you tell us first about some of the 7-Up that you have?
I got a 1948 7-Up sign. Picked it up at a garage sale, got it for short money, and brought it home. Looked good.
Now, when you say short money, what are you talking for a sign like that? I mean, that's a nice looking sign. It's got great graphics on it. It's a pretty nice condition.
About $75, I think I paid for it.
Now, over here, you have more 7-Up memorabilia. You have a truck. I love those trucks.
It's nothing special. It's nothing valuable, but it just looked good with the rest of the machine.
Now, right beside is something I've never seen before. Okay, you have a 7-Up picnic tin. And I've never seen one. So where did you come across that?
I got that in an auto swap meet at Mansfield.
It looks great, but I'm going to tell you, it's a rare piece. I've never seen one like it. And you have a beautiful, I think that's from the 70s, 7-Up machine?
No, it's a 60s.
Is it a 60s?
Yeah, it's a 60s.
And where did you acquire this one?
I found that on Craigslist. As far as I know, it came from the Cumberland, Rhode Island Fire Department.
And you have another 7-Up sign. Yep. And now over here, you have a Coca-Cola machine. Yep. I think that's from the early 1950s, a Westinghouse.
1955.
Very popular Coca-Cola machine. Does it work, first of all? Is it an operating machine, or is it here just for decor?
As far as I know, it does. To me, I don't care. It just looks good, and that's why I bought it. Like I said, I buy what I like, and it was in good shape. It was a fair price. I fell into it. I didn't go out seeking it.
Now, I know that you collect for the love of the hobby. Now, but what did something like that cost you when you bought it?
I paid $350 for it.
$350, and I know because I have an identical Coke machine that's sitting in my office right now that I paid a lot more money for. So you got a great deal on that. Well, above now you have another Coca-Cola sign there. Why don't you tell me about that one?
Just a lit-up sign that I found on Craigslist. Went down to the guy's house and got that and a couple other signs, only because I thought it looked nice.
Again, what did you pay for it?
$1.25.
Now, I know I've seen similar signs that light up like that go for $500, $600, $700. So that's a great deal. So when you're out there, try and find yourself a good deal. So now we're going to have a look at some of Frank's sports memorabilia. Frank, I know you're a big-time Brady fan.
3-time Super Bowl champion.
And what made you want to collect his memorabilia?
Well, got him when he was, a rookie and started young, and that's just the way I did it, I guess.
So what do you have in terms of pieces? I see some jerseys on the wall. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got them?
Jerseys, they're real on-field jerseys. I got the home, the road, I got 7 helmets. They're all Super Bowl helmets, pretty much. There's Michigan one, is throwback, team ball, the first Super Bowl.
When we come back, a lot more Cruisin' favorites. All this and more on Cruisin' New England.
Hi, my name's Neil Murley, Murley's Car Care Center. We are Southern New England's Sunoco race fuel dealer. Save on Sunoco race fuel right off Route 3 in Weymouth Heights. And good luck on the track.
These are the faces of childhood food allergies. To these kids, it's not about the inconvenience of restricting peanut products and other food allergens at school or at camp. To more than 6 million of our precious children, it can be a matter of life and death. Help us keep all of our children safe. Learn to recognize allergic reactions. Know the facts about food allergies.
Visit the Wood Museum of Springfield History in Springfield, Mass., home of the world's largest Indian motorcycle collection, and Springfield-built cars like Rolls-Royce and the Duryea. Would you like information about Cruisin' New England Productions? Cruisin' New England magazine has been the premier auto and events magazine for over 20 years. Cruisin' New England Car Show series includes the Elite Dream Machines at Mohegan Sun Casino, the Super Wheel Showdown on City Hall Plaza, Boston, the Circle of Champions at the Big E Fair, and the Spooktacular Cruisin' Classic. Or for personal appearances by Paul Manette or advertising on our television show, contact us at cruisenewengland@aol.com.
Building Maintenance Services. We've been servicing the Northeast since 1990. We service and repair revolving doors, automatic and handicap doors. We can help you design an attractive, efficient entrance you can be proud of. Protect your investment and secure your property with yearly maintenance contracts and 24-hour service. Whether in office, medical, or commercial high-rise, we'll get the job done right for you. Building Maintenance Services.
You never know what you're going to see at the Tie Rod's Old Timers Reunion. And if you like speed, you're going to love this segment. Jim, how you doing today?
Good.
Listen, you have a vehicle here that's getting a lot of attention here at the Tie Rod Show, and I know it's done some special things in the past month. Can you tell us a little bit about the vehicle?
This is a belly tank Lakester that we run out in Bonneville. The body of the car originally started as a fuel tank off an A-10 airplane. We custom built the entire frame and suspension within the tank. This is an Audi 4-cylinder engine we're running in this car. It's turbocharged. Presently, we have it set up with about 24 pounds of boost, and we can make 550 horsepower out of a little 2.1 liter motor.
Now, we talking about parachutes, the whole works here to stop this vehicle?
Yeah, this car I run tiny little rear brakes to usually stop in the pits and in the staging lanes. But when I'm running, I have 2 parachutes. I have one big main chute that when I deploy it at about 240 miles an hour, it will shut me down to about 70 miles an hour in a mile.
How'd you get interested in racing?
I've always been into cars all my life, loved racing, dreamt about Bonneville and the 200 mile an hour club since I was 5 years old, and probably 10 years ago my father-in-law took me out to Bonneville with a whole group from these tie rodders, and there was probably 38 of us on the plane on the way back, and out of the 38, 36 said we're going to build a car and we're going to go out there and race it. In reality, 3 of us made it. It's the 3 cars parked right here, and it was both these guys' first year out there. We've been running, in 2007 was the first year we ran out there. And it takes a while. It's not as easy as people think to just go out and run in a straight line. There's a lot of bugs to work out, and they call it the Great White Dyno. It breaks a lot of parts, a lot of engines. Our first year out there, we came back with holes through all 6 pistons and a 6-cylinder motor we used to run in the car. We run in what's called the FPGL, which is a 2 to 3 liter engine size blown gasoline Lakester, and we hold the record in the country now for our class. We upped the record from 218 miles an hour up to 230 miles an hour this year, with a top speed at one point on a run at 244 miles an hour.
Now, you're the driver of the vehicle.
Yeah.
How's it feel to get that thing up there to 240 miles an hour plus?
I mean, things are going pretty quick. I cover a quarter mile in less than 4 seconds. It's a real adrenaline run. When you're sitting in the starting line and something happens, you might be strapped in there for 20 minutes before you get to go. You get a little bit of jitters, but once you're moving, it's pure fun.
I'm here with Carter Lloyd, and he's one of the trio of vehicles here today at the Tie Rod Show that actually raced at the Salt Flats. Tell us about your vehicle.
It's a 28 Ford body. It's a steel body. It's a reproduction Brookville body, they call it. And it runs in the D-Gas Roadster class. And the D is the size of the motor, and Gas Roadster is the class that the car runs in. If it was running on fuel, it would be a fuel roadster. In this case, it's gasoline. It has a 302 cubic inch Chevrolet motor. And the unique thing about the car is it's front wheel drive. It's an automatic transmission, a 2-speed drag racing power glide. And the car was finished in 09, and we raced up in Maine. And then this is the first year we went to Bonneville, and we got up to 165 with the car.
Let's talk about the body style. What do you have here?
Well, it's a 28 Ford Roadster body. Obviously the fenders are off the car. And it's got an extended hood, because you're allowed to move the motor back 25% in this class. So we moved the motor back as much as we could, and we moved the driver back.
Just the honor of being able to race at the Bonneville Salt Flats is awesome.
It was exciting, you know. We kind of looked at it the other day when we were there and said, you know, there's 6 billion people in the world and there's 500 of us here racing.
Awesome car. Thanks for sharing with us. I don't want to keep you too long because I know you want to get started on next year. Hey, now we're here with Bob Parker. Now, Bob actually took this vehicle out to the Bonneville Salt Flats, thought the vehicle was all ready, and then found out he couldn't race it. Tell us what happened.
Well, they had, of course, a big safety inspection, and they weren't happy with the way the body's sealed to the firewall.
Well, tell us about the vehicle itself. First, let's start with the motor.
Well, it's a 372 cubic inch, really highly modified Chevy motor. It's got over 600 horsepower.
Okay, now what about the body?
The body is a replica of a 1928 Ford body. I built the mold and built the body, and it lifts up like a funny car, which is kind of unusual for a Bonneville car.
Thanks, Bob. Thanks for being on the show.
Okay.
I hope you enjoyed our look back at my favorite segments. I'm Paul Manette. Until next time, I'll be cruising New England.